Let us see if it works properly.
Jesus. This meeting.
Oh, it works. Huzzah! Yeah, the recording in progress lady is really the best thing that's happened in 2021 so far. Maybe that is what is best happened. There we go. All right.
Continue.
Continue.
Continue the meeting.
Recording in progress.
Recording.
It's funny she doesn't say live streaming in progress. You'd think that, someone being on a work call and someone live streaming their work call on YouTube would be more worrisome than recording.
We're recording your words. You are being filmed. Hey.
In case you didn't know that by hitting the big red record button. It's so no one, they probably got sued. And they were like, okay.
True, because you don't know when you're not being recorded. Well, it does. It says recording at the top.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, I set all of our company meetings to record automatically. So sometimes you join, you don't really pay attention. And then, someone's in a work call in their underpants or whatever, and then they get mad.
Underpants call.
I bet that's what happened.
We're selling underwear. Mark, what do you got? I wasn't recording that, unfortunately. You got it, though,
I was.
right?
Oh, yeah. I think we'll do it the same way today, just as a backup. But because of the original sound thing, because now it sounds normal, I don't think we need to record locally anymore starting next week. We can just record on Zoom.
I see.
And save ourselves the extra file. And
since my original sound is on right now?
Yeah, now that we changed that setting, we should be good to go.
What just happened? Hey!
Hibbity flibbity.
Ha
Bibbity tibbity.
All right. Recording there. Good to go. Why are we a side notation to the whole show? Blinks is main gizmo.
It's Gizmo from Gremlins 2. No, it's in the meantime thing. You know
what we should do is pull some of those Windows 95 screensavers and just have it the words flopping, get fucked, or something like that. Tits.
Dude, there's probably a generator online. I'll have to find one. I wanted to do the DVD waiting screen, pause screen, bounce around screen.
Well, we should record our own thing. Well.
We could hide. Oh, no. All right.
Unfortunately, he has passed.
I forgot. Yeah, I was going to say. Let's hire Rob Zombie to do. Wonder if Rob Zombie's on Cameo. We can just have him replicate the Captain Spaulding DVD menu and then steal it and put it on the show.
Well.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay, kids, let's go.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
We don't drink beer anymore, but as long as we keep drinking Liquid Death, we can still do the...
Hello, what have we
The
here?
flying.
You guys are so funny.
Rando's not a system, he's a man.
Holy shit. You ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Which one of us is which?
Looking. Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good Day Galaxy, Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for
No one can
tuning
hear you.
in.
No one
I
can
know.
hear you.
Oh my god.
What
Rolling
were
in
you-
from the back.
I was going to say, what were you trying to do?
I was turning the fan down. I forgot I had a fan on me.
Oh, I thought you were trying to, slide your way in.
No. I was
Slide
turning
into the live stream.
Turning the fan off because I don't want the blowings on the microphone. Good Day Galaxy.
Everyone's ears appreciate that, but I hope it doesn't make you too sweaty. Remember back in the day, it used to get super hot in the studio.
Mm-hmm. Breathing.
Well, I was going to say mostly all the equipment and the enclosed space and the lack of a fan.
Lack of a fan.
Important question must be answered in the intro. C3 Penis Face and R2 Dickhead. Which one of us is which?
I don't know.
We must choose.
I'm both.
We must
You're-
have to
you're
poll.
Chewbacca.
We'll poll the listeners.
I'm shorter and stouter, so I'm R2 Dickhead.
Okay,
I'm R2.
that's fine. Height alone determines my.
That's
My
your
character?
main factor.
That's fine.
And you're
That's all
pesty bitch.
It's been height and height only for a while. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. What are we at? 269.
Episode 269.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, have you caught up with Bad Batch? All the way.
I'm closer.
That's fine. I haven't seen the most recent episode. So
I watched 4 episodes today, and I think I'm up to 7. So I haven't watched 8 and 9. I'm 2 behind, but I'm much further than I was last episode.
much further.
Further.
What was the last episode? Walk through. What was the most recent?
The episode 7 is where Rex pops up, and then Rex is like, "You guys haven't yanked that chip out of your head. What the fuck are you thinking?"
Yeah.
And then they go to that old ship and they try to do it, and Wrecker's like, "Oh my god, I have a headache, so I'm gonna try to kill you now."
Yep.
And then he chases Omega, and then they conk him out and they eat berries or something, and he's happy.
That was the missed opportunity that I thought when he was chasing Omega, that I thought maybe she was going to use some force powers because she was cornered.
Still
Did you feel the same way, or?
Yeah, I keep waiting for her to use force powers.
Yeah.
Like Wrecker, his chip turns on and he knocks out everybody else in the crew, and then Omega comes up and force push or force freeze or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't know either. And I debunked my own theory, and it was a trash theory already that Omega was a clone Palpy somehow and related to Rey somehow. But I did some quick digging and noticed that Kylo, he says your father was the son of Palpatine. So in that assumption, Omega couldn't be her mother because it's her dad that's related to Palpy, not her mother. So
Fucking sexist.
yeah, I agree. What were we agreeing with? But yeah, so yeah, Jacob Weiss was already making fun of me. Now I get to make fun of myself because he's absolutely right. So.
Well, you can make fun of us on theories all day. Now, I will say you were hyper inflammatory about the episodes last episode. Because sometimes we like to shit on them, and they're actually not that bad, and we're kind of going on a rant about one thing. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So did the Echo?
They are like one task episodes, which is that stuff kind of triggers me. But
sure. But how was your feeling? Because I felt like the Echo episode was the one, or not Echo, Rex episode was the one that was like, oh, okay, like things seem to be like starting to happen.
It was moving it forward a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy. Just like a tick above the rest of the trash episodes. I say trash, but the rest of those
errand episodes.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I am one more ahead of you.
Oh boy.
And there is shit on fans.
I opened WhatsApp and I saw a spoiler in the preview line from the spoiler chat, which I haven't gone into because I haven't caught up, but I did see a preview and somebody name dropped somebody. So.
Oh, so you're saying Cad Bane?
No. Disney spoiled that one for me because he's in the thumbnail for the episode. So thanks a lot.
I understand it, but at the same time, if you're gonna mass, post something, do not post the thing that the whole episode's. It's not wrapped around him, but that's the big oh man, we get to see Cad Bane again. This is great.
Yeah,
he doesn't play a major role yet, at least from what I've seen. But it's like, dude, why would you do that? Disney execs. Yeah. See, Marvel has done such, and actually Star Wars up until recently has done.
We
such a great
can't talk
job.
about Marvel this episode.
We won't. But Marvel has done such great things. Yeah, it's why would you post the whole thing?
I don't know, but I was going through. I watched as much as I could, and then I was going through to see what episodes I had left, and then I think it's episode 9. It's just Cad Bane's just right there on the thumbnail. And I was like, oh, I guess we're gonna see Cad Bane.
Yeah, it's fun to see him. So, like I said, some shit goes down. I'm one episode ahead of you. So it's after Rex leaves. They're still kind of messing around on that planet, and they basically get cornered.
Okay.
Not particularly by Cad, but
Well, I see at the end of that episode with Rex, there's 2 bounty hunters that are like, tell the Empire, we found them. Mm-hmm. And it kind of ends that way.
yeah. Well, what's his face? Not Sharp. I always want to call him Sharpshooter. Deadeye. What the fuck's the
Crosshair.
Crosshair? One of the stigmatic bullshit names.
The guy
whatever.
that used the sniper rifle.
Yes.
Just call him Sniper Rifle.
He catches up with them on that junk world of a planet, and it's kind of a more fun episode. People get shot finally, which is dumb to say, but people get shot.
People who aren't droids get shot.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, you know,
The droids aren't people, so.
things happen.
Are droids people?
There is one little part of that episode that ends with Cad Bane. I'll just spoil it. That there is like a small little cornering of the heroes, the good guys, and they do something that I'm like, wow, how rebellion of them, like making do with what they got. They kind of figure their way out of a corner, and it's like, man, no one would have ever thought of that. Like outside, like in the Empire, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, look at that.
So what do you... Well, you mentioned rebellion, so do you think we're pushing towards, by the end of the season, Bad Batch joins... Well, obviously the rebellion isn't officially formed quite yet, but do you think that's where they're headed? They're going to be part of the rebels?
I'm assuming... Well, you're saying the Rebels the show, or like the Rebels?
No, like they're just going to be part of the Alliance, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I assume somehow, some way... You know what I really think is they're going to do something to help out the rebellion, almost in a Han Solo-esque way, but they're not going to maybe particularly join because their entire lives have been wrapped around fighting, and it's like, dude...
They want to retire?
I would like to just live.
Like Thanos?
And just get lost. Like, Rex almost has it. Is Rex... Well, Rex is kind of balls deep with the Rebels at that point.
I don't know. Because in Rebels, they find Rex, and he's just hanging out with a few extra clones.
Yeah.
On this backwater planet. Remember they turned one of those walkers into like fucking RV or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because they show him really old in Rebels because he's got that white beard and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they do kind of get him to join back up.
Yeah, well, like for an episode, they're like, we need your help. And then, goodbye. You're like, great.
Have fun.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the other episodes leading up to the Rex episode?
You didn't mention this, and I don't know if you did on purpose to not spoil it, but those 2 girls that Ahsoka befriends show back up when they're trying to... I kind of tuned out a little bit on that one. They're trying to just get a droid's head. Like they're trying to steal a droid's head from Corellia, and then they meet up with those 2 vigilante sisters or whatever they're
I
called.
completely zoned out on that episode and still got everything out of it that I needed to. I was like, dude, I watched maybe 2.5 minutes of all the entire thing, and I get it.
Yep.
Like Omega learned to use her bow, and you can see the droid armor slowly being destroyed, and you're like,
yep,
got it, check mark.
Omega almost fell into the lava pit at the end of Terminator 2, but then they saved her at the last minute. That's what happened.
She learned the skill of arm strength in that one. Because that's where it started off, and they're like, oh, you'll get better, you need arm strength. And then 20 minutes later, she must have done a lot of fucking push-ups between there and Jesus, something happened.
Clinging for your life at the edge of a pit you'll get muscles real quick.
Oh yeah, leveled up.
When you don't have a choice, you just learn, and you're just, yeah.
The other episode was when Wrecker was wrestling.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was I overplaying it, or was it as bad as I was saying?
It wasn't the whole episode, but it was pretty bad. Yeah, it was 50% of the episode.
Yeah. Okay. I always like to ask because I have a certain feeling about that stuff, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I
don't think you were too far off. We feel the same about this.
Yeah.
Did you notice the voice of that character, Sid, that green alien that's sending them on these jobs?
No, but now that you say that, why?
And that's why I chose the background that I chose. It's
Rambo?
what's his face's aunt from UHF. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Weird Al's is his mom or his aunt or whatever?
Look
in UHF.
Yeah.
That's her.
Why do I need to know this?
Because it's I recognized the voice immediately, and I was like, no way. And then she's also in Cheers, I think. It's the same girl.
Wow. What?
I'm pretty sure. Unless
You're
I'm
connecting weird
unless I'm
dots here.
connecting weird. All right, let's do a little researchery right now. How about that? Just so I don't make things up. The Bad Batch. My computer's going a little crazy right now.
Crazy. How do you like the character of Sid while we're on it?
She's pretty cool. You know, I like the people that are just in the middle. And they're like, you know, do all these things. I don't really care. I just want some money.
I'm trying to excuse me. I'm trying to figure it out because I know even the bad guys from a certain point of view are enemies to the Empire because they can't. Even the good guys and the bad guys can't do their normal everyday things because the Empire's the oppression of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Rhea Perlman.
Oh my God.
She's in UHF, right? And Cheers and Matilda.
I didn't know she was in UHF.
I swear. I could be wrong, but I thought it was Weird Al's his aunt or whatever that he's staying with. I guess
Rodeo Drive.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. All right,
Yeah.
well, still, I recognized her from Matilda as well.
I'm honestly, I don't even remember her in Matilda. I would have guessed it from
the mom.
Cheers. Oh,
Well, now I have to figure out who this person is.
Yeah. You're never gonna find it.
Well,
Not listed. Bum. See?
Emo Phillips. Whatever, I don't care that much. All right, well, I mixed up the actresses. I'm sorry, but I did recognize the voice right away. And
Good
this is
call.
still a funny background, even though it doesn't make any sense anymore, but whatever.
To be honest, I would have never guessed Rhea Perlman was still in the acting business by any means. So
Especially Star Wars cartoon.
yeah, Cheers is a long time ago. Yeah, it's very very different media or very different subjects, I guess. Cheers is one of those shows that I went back and started watching, kind of just binging through, and it holds up. It's kind of just a fun, quirky show.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Did you know the later seasons were written by a guy that went to our high school?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I think your dad or my dad graduated with him, but he was a co-writer for Cheers. Yeah, weird,
pretty
weird
cool.
shit.
We'll have to bust out the yearbook.
Yeah, dig it up.
See what's up.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
So, no, I didn't get fully caught up, but I'm close.
CT506613 says, so, assuming that was the same Rancor as the one in Return of the Jedi, are we supposed to be sad when Luke kills it after being... Well, it's not the assumption because Bib Fortuna shows up at the end of that episode to pick up the Rancor. So, it's more than an assumption. I mean, they spoon-fed you that one.
Well, here's a thought, though. A Rancor is a pretty giant animal. How long do Rancors live? The Rancor in Jabba's...
Yeah.
The one in Jabba's palace was pretty mature. You know, that thing could be like 300 years old.
Also, I've played KOTOR a bunch. Rancors don't get that big. Jabba's Rancor is on some type of protein powder because it is fucking gigantic.
It's just eating Twi'lek skeletons. That's where it's getting all its growth.
They're feeding it the good stuff. I don't know.
Snort, snort.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of leave you feeling a weird way. It's like, oh, haha, Wrecker just wrestled this Rancor for the entire episode, and then, 20, 30 years later, Luke's cutting it in half and throwing rocks at its head. And
I don't know if it's the same one, though. But why would Bib Fortuna come and pick it up? Why would they even put that in there if it wasn't the same one?
It's to lead you to that, yeah.
It's got to be that. Unless the baby Rancor is food for the big Rancor. And that's some sorts kind of fucked up.
Maybe when they eat each other, they multiply in size.
Multiply in size?
Yeah, like you level up, you double in size.
Multiply is like if they gave birth to like a bunch of themselves.
Well, I don't know the rules of Rancors. I don't know.
We need a Rancor animal expert on.
A Rancor rancher.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fat guy that lost his Rancor at the end and cried. With the Gamorrean, him and the Gamorrean. Yeah, I don't know. My guess would be, knowing that like Wookiees live super long, I would probably guess that Rancors live like 300 or 400 or 500 years. So it might not be the same one, but why would they put Bib Fortuna in there? Blah blah blah. That's what I think of it.
I'm looking it up.
So I like your background, but why did you pick one that had you in 9th place?
I just searched it up.
Whoever posted that screenshot sucks. You should be in the lead.
I'm not finding the life expectancy of a Rancor. It's a random question, but
How long do Rancors live?
standing around 5 meters tall.
What's that, like 15 feet?
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 meters is like 6 foot, over 6 foot. 2 meters is like 7 foot, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really say, and I'm assuming, depending on the planet they're from, there's probably different species of Rancor, different variants. I don't know.
Here's a lovely article from We Got This Covered, who we should probably never quote.
So we'll quote it.
As I go in to quote it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just wondering. It was a random
So
question.
the Rancor that Luke killed had a name. I can't pronounce it, but it was a male Rancor. And Muchi, who is the baby Rancor in this episode, is female.
Oh, now we've answered the question. So they can change sexes.
That is possible. Some reptiles do that. So maybe.
I know.
And then
Have you
when
ever seen Jurassic Park?
it was named Rancor DNA. It was named Muchi, so maybe when Jabba got it as a gift, he changed his name. Its name.
No. I would, I'm under the assumption, yeah, he must, it would have been the baby of Muchi.
All right, so there's 2 options for this scenario.
Or, yeah, go ahead.
One, Filoni didn't research Wikipedia and just thought it would be a cute gesture and put it in there. And, Bib Fortuna, obviously we're supposed to assume that. But why would they put Bib in there what's the point of that? That makes the fan service from your complaint even worse because there's no connection. It's stupid.
Well, let me try to answer this then. Maybe Jabba is just a Rancor savant. He likes Rancors, so he collects them.
Like people in Texas. They just
Yep.
have a bunch of tigers.
Jabba's Texan. We figured it out.
Got it.
He lost his hat along the way. He had a big cowboy Rancor hat.
Yeah, I guess he couldn't wear cowboy boots, so he'd have to go with a hat. Just one boot stuck to the end of his
Just
tail.
a spur sticking out of his ass.
Do slugs have asses, though?
They all do. Well, somewhere. Something's got to happen.
I don't know. They just kind of ooze stuff out of their skin.
No, I don't need to know.
It's
Is
like
that
someone-
what? Ooh. That's some...
Just
No
leaves a
comment.
trail of slime feces as he's waddling away.
Yeah, that's it. It is a very interesting choice for a crime lord, crime organization species. We'll just make them tubs of lard, bro.
I think it works because a lot of times the person that's high in charge isn't actually doing the grunt work. They're sitting back and reaping the rewards,
No, I
and
get
ordering
it.
people around.
But Sidious stays slim. So what's Jabba's?
Dude, those robes they can hide.
They
You
can
don't know.
hide
You
a
don't know
bunch.
what's under there.
They also make you sweat, so he's probably just dehydrated. Dark side dehydrates all. Yep.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? I know we've talked about the beasts of Star Wars, but that were on the Rancors. What's one of your favorites?
Definitely not the Sarlacc pit. Or the Sarlacc.
How do you feel about the Sarlacc pit?
I just hate that they put a beak in it.
So you're fine with the actual Sarlacc. You just are upset at the update.
Adding of the beak, yes. I mean, I think if we're going to accept Crate Dragon Sand Tremor beasts, then I'm okay with that, and I'm also okay with the Sarlacc pit. I think. And the fact that it's a living organism is kind of cool. But the beak is silly. I also wonder how the Sarlacc can survive. Like, when Jabba decides to make a sacrifice and he takes prisoners out there and chucks them in, it gets some food. But the rest of the time, it's just waiting for someone to wander through the Dune Sea and just fall into it.
No. You've never seen an actual Sarlacc? I'm going to
No.
screen share here if I can.
Oh, I think you have showed me before, but I don't remember, so refresh my memory.
They got fucking limbs, bro. They'll jump at you.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. This is why I don't read Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this.
They're terrifying. They're literally tremors, but they have arms and legs. It's really weird. And I'm assuming the one in episode 6, we're just assuming it's just a fucking huge one. Because this one that's trying to hug Han is about the same size as Han.
It's a baby Sarlacc, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, see, you start Googling stuff and you start hating your own shit.
That's not good. That's why I don't do any research. I don't look up news anymore. I don't want to do the backstory. I just, it's too much. I feel like for a period, I don't know when that comic came out, but I feel like there was a period of time where there wasn't much happening, and they were just kind of going back to things that were already in canon. Like, how can we just kind of add to this backstory? Oh, let's make the Sarlacc that it can move and add arms and legs to it, and it has babies.
Well, to be honest, the way they had it set up was pretty dumb. Like you said, it just sits there waiting for things to fall in its mouth. It waits for a crime lord to have prisoners so it can feed for the next 1,000 years.
It's like a giant sand Venus flytrap.
Also, we're assuming Sarlaccs live for 1,000 years so it can digest its food?
Yeah, dude, how many calories does it need to have in it just to sit for 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Also, that threat means nothing, because even if it slowly digests you over 1,000 years,
just walk out.
If you're a human, you're gonna die in 30, so you don't feel the pain of the rest of that digestion.
Yeah, you would die of
time.
Time. I died of time, bro.
Before you die of the Sarlacc digestion tract.
I've actually always wondered that. If you have decent armor, it's not even going to eat through your armor. You're just going to fall asleep forever.
Well, that's what happened to Boba Fett. We're going to find out this holiday season.
What happened to Boba? Oh, he took a nap till he died in the Sarlacc.
He took a nap till he died. He didn't. No, he took a nap till he busted out.
True.
Do you? How much do you want to bet the show opens with a super dark, dank shot, and he's in the Sarlacc pit, and he gets his way out of it? We see him in Mando, but you think the show is going to go back a couple years, and we're going to see him escape?
Well, I mean, they'll write something in there like that. His armor wasn't digestible, so it spit him out or some shit. So he was just left to die in the sand, and someone found him or something.
Well, part of that's in there, because that's how Bro comes across the armor.
Maybe
or no, Jawas come across it, and then they sell it to him. But I mean, actually seeing Boba Fett claw his way out.
I'd rather not, to be honest. The less Sarlaccs, the better. We can make fun of the space ticks in episode 2. But I'm actually kind of okay with the space ticks. Even the big asteroid worm, I'm kind of okay with it. But a Sarlacc pit,
I'm more okay with the Sarlacc than I am with the asteroid worm, because there's no oxygen or environment. That thing should be dead. And how often are things landing on asteroids to become food for that thing?
Dude, it's got
less often than people are walking across the Dune Sea and falling into the Sarlacc.
You know how it eats? Is it just slowly digests the Mynocks that are inside of it, that are reproducing inside of it.
Oh, dude, that's a legit setup.
So you don't even have
it
to
eats
eat.
half the Mynocks, the other half the Mynocks lay more Mynocks. It eats those, and then the other ones grow up, and
But
they
what
lay
do the
more
Mynocks
eggs,
eat?
and then it eats. How'd they get there as well?
Oh, yeah. See?
Does the worm have gravity inside of it?
Which came first?
The worm or the Mynock?
Yeah. See? I don't know.
See, why would I bother watching Bad Batch when we can just talk about this?
Yeah. Yeah. So to wrap everything back around, I have my background as N64 Pod Racer, because I've had it on Xbox, so I booted it up, and I just wanted some mindless stuff to play. And
It's on Xbox?
Yeah, I played it on Xbox. Yeah.
What? I didn't know that. I thought it was only on Switch.
Oh no, I bought it. It was like $5 on Xbox or something, $10.
Fucking A. That's cool.
It holds up a lot better than I thought it would. Let me say that. Because it's a straightforward racing game, but they do enough on the maps that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this one's hard because of this. This one's hard because of that. But
dude, and it gets crazy hard. I've only ever beat like the first 2 circuits. I've never done the third one.
Oh, really? Well, you're saying sets of races?
Yeah, because there's 3, right?
More now, I think. But yeah, they get pretty hard, man. I tried to jump ahead without updating, and I'm just racing as Anakin, and I had to jump back.
Yep. You gotta get those Trugets and sell them and buy upgrades for your thing.
Why are they making more types of currency?
There's too many currencies. If Qui-Gon had 20,000 Trugets with him, he would have gotten whatever he wanted from Watto. Here's both slaves and a fucking hyperdrive.
What was the exchange rate on Trugets to credits?
Wasn't that his first? Why didn't he just go to the bank first and just swap currencies? Because surely there's got to be a bank there that, like, no one wants your credits on Tatooine, but, the bank, they can trade it with somebody else. And isn't all currency digital? What the fuck?
The Republic doesn't exist out there, though, so they wouldn't have an exchange house or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but there's got to be some pirate or bounty hunter that's coming through, and they have different types of currency, and they got to swap it out somehow.
Yeah.
And I feel like, isn't it just all digital, though?
I don't know. Yeah, you just transfer a number from my iPad to yours, and now you're richer than I am because your number's bigger. It's like, I don't...
Exactly.
I don't know.
Hey.
Do we ever see physical coins? Well, we see it in Mando.
Yeah.
We see the little jelly cubes that he gets for murdering.
What's the exchange rate on those?
Here's 3 jelly packets.
The Mon Calamari jelly to Beskar. What's the exchange rate?
3 jelly packets and 2 soy sauce packets. Thank you for your business.
1 fried rice, please, to go.
Oh, man. Yeah, N64 Pod Racer. The updates are decent. It's a fun game.
So much easier to play.
It stays so true to itself, though, because they literally updated the graphics a little bit, and that's it. The game still the game.
Right.
Which is kind of nice because it's fucking goofy.
It is goofy. I love it.
Yeah.
EB Endicott still looks like a demented clown.
Yep.
It's the most ugly creature.
It is. It is. Yeah. It is creepier than it. The movie.
Yeah, I don't know if we shared this a long time ago. I don't know if anyone's seen EB Endicott.
Turn the music back on, dude. I'm talking.
Oh shit! I thought it was.
Hum along. There we go.
Every time.
Oh my god!
It gets shared and unshared. It changes.
Jesus, that's terrible.
There you go. This is good old EB.
That's not good. And he has a C-section scar. Is it a she?
Dude,
or is that a war? Is that a war wound?
It's got chicken legs, Snorlax torso, eagle. No, not even eagle. It's got furry arms. Why is there no fur anywhere except for his arms and his face?
He's been plucked. He was almost cooked by Chewbacca with the porgs that one day.
That's so.
This is truly terrifying. Yeah, and when you guys get a chance, just EB Endicott. It's terrifying.
And yeah, sorry for everyone that's not watching live. My bad. But you know what we're talking about. Horrible. Yeah. So it had to have been concept art that was left out of the movie, and then they were like, "What's all the concept art pod racer stuff? We got to put any extra shit in this game."
Maybe that was a transition from dinosaurs to velociraptors to birds. He's somewhere in the middle there.
I don't think there's velociraptors in Star Wars. Mynox.
Let me think. There's underwater Godzilla. Let me see.
Yeah, but it's not called Godzilla.
His name is Bigger Fish.
Hello, Mr. Bigger Fish. Good to see you again.
Biggest.
You're always there. You're always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. Is he the only one in the lineup that isn't in the movie?
Oh no, there's a lot. There was a Swamp Thing, dude. Have you ever seen the Swamp Thing
No.
racer? Oh my god, it's literally just a lizard with like a sucker on its face.
I'm getting deja vu that we've done this before. Looked up all the pod racer people. Oh my god.
Did you find it?
Yes. Hang on. I gotta go back to the screen. This is crazy. Aldar Beto.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's a good one.
Arc Roos. Bumpy
What?
Roos.
The fuck is that? Dude,
That's a fucking old tree stump
racing.
with eyes.
The bumpy tree
Oh
stump.
my god.
Ben
Quadraneros. I
yeah.
love. Bull's Roar.
I don't remember him from the.
Oh god, I hit the button. God damn it, get out of here.
See,
Oh yeah,
there's
there is a
of
lot.
them.
Bozzy Baranta. They were just like, this is only going in a game. You got to make up whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit.
Sorry, I keep clicking buttons. Bullseye. Look at his little...
That's his.
Just
that's
a fucking diamond.
Yeah,
Clegg Holdfast.
I do
He's
remember
cool.
him. Yeah, he's not bad.
Is this what you were talking about, Swamp Thing?
No, it gets worse. Darth Vader.
Well, it's Anakin.
I know, but what do you think? Do you think after he became Darth Vader, he demanded that all of his personal records be changed from Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader? Darth Vader has the fastest lap time on this circuit.
There's just a record in the slaves that Watto used to own, and it was just Shmi Skywalker, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
You used to own Darth Vader? No
He did.
way.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's, yeah, he tells people on Tatooine all the time, dude, I used to own him.
Darth Vader.
I used to own Darth Vader.
So technically, I'm the Emperor, really, if you think about it.
Dude, I'm his father. Think about that, Luke. Oh, man. That's funny.
That's amazing. Dudbolt.
Yep.
You
Classic.
know Dudbolt. There's the
EB.
terrifying
There's
chicken
the
fat
Swamp
clown. Elon Mack.
That's the Swamp Thing.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is in the game. Fud sang.
Yeah, it's got like a maggot.
Dude, the picture from the game is from the front, so he's just got like a sucker on his face. It's crazy.
That's disgusting. This four-armed dude. Gascano is awesome. Yeah, there's a lot more than I thought. You must be able... I never beat the game. Some of these must be unlockables.
No, every time you win a circuit and you get first, you get the main racer's pod.
All right. There must be just a few that I've never unlocked then because I'm bad at the game. We know those guys. Neva Key. Don't know who that is. Odie Mandrell, I love. Rats Darrell's cool. Sababa. Tinto. Toy Dampener. What? Juan Sandage.
Dude, Juan Sandage.
They were just throwing everything at the wall,
Dude,
huh?
Anakin hated that guy.
This looks like the Grinch with grass on him. Jesus.
Anakin's, oh, man.
If you are listening to this after the stream,
Own Darth Vader, bro.
do yourself a favor and just search up all the characters from Episode 1 Pod Racer, just so you can see what the hell is going on.
What if Darth Vader ran into Watto later in his years?
Watto is just applying for a job at the Empire.
Little Lenny?
Just chokes him, cuts him in half right there. How dare you?
You build me one of those pod racers, eh? Good game, though.
Wonder if he does anything in his spare time just to kind of blow off steam. Like, you think he's got a... You think he built a pod racer circuit on Mustafar near his castle just to, fuck around?
I honestly think he has like his own engineering shop, and that's like his TIE Advanced. I think he probably hand built that shit. Also, while we're on this topic,
He's got his own garage.
I seriously, while in between murdering people, I think he goes back and turns wrenches.
Yeah.
Because that's what he knows, and it can help him murder more people in the future. So it's kind of just planting
Win-win.
a seed. Yeah. While we're on this topic, I did some Googling.
That's dangerous.
So I was wondering how, what, when, where, why Vader's castle.
What about it?
Who built it? Where's it from? Was it something that he had built? Was it something that it was like an ancient Sith temple?
It's an old Sith thing, and there was a comic story where he had to like go through some test and trial to like get it, like claim ownership of it from this Sith ghost or whatever. Something like that.
Yes, so Darth Maulman, Momin, was an ancient Sith Lord, engineer, or some fucking architect, but he basically... So Darth Maulman's mask was in the Jedi Temple, I believe, in the Jedi Archives, and Vader went and got it, and it started talking to him, and basically he learned how to build Vader's a castle that would work above an ancient Sith burial ground or something on Mustafar.
So he actually did build the castle then.
Well, it had to have been built under certain circumstances so it could withstand the power.
Okay.
And I guess like the first handful of attempts, it crumbled on its own power basically. So
cool.
He basically was talking to a mask to build a castle, which sounds ridiculous, but then you look at Kylo talking to a mask.
Yep.
And you're like, I get it.
Except that was just Palpatine.
Right. Well, his was to conquer the galaxy, not to build a house, you know.
Yeah, but still, he was talking to Vader's mask, but it was Palpatine that was talking back to him.
Dude, does that piss you off?
No, because when Kylo walks into Exogorth and Palpatine changes voices and says all that shit, it gives me chills, so I don't care about the rest of it.
It irks me for sure. It really irks me. You know what?
Yeah.
I love and hate the fact that Sidious is all-knowing and all-powerful.
It does make it, like, it makes the villain boring at some, you know what I mean?
Well, not only that, but if there was any sense of Vader left, I would assume it would be in his mask. And you're telling me that 0% of what Kylo heard from his grandfather, there's bloodline attached to that too. So it's like, dude, I was talking to this mask because, one, it's my grandfather. Two, it's one of the strongest Siths of all time. And, of course, it's not him because Palp is a thing.
Well, it does make sense, though, because Anakin gets redeemed and becomes a Jedi Force ghost on the light side. So the fact that he would be talking to his evil grandson, except to say, hey, chill the fuck out.
I mean, it's a valid point, but I guess my thought is Darth Maulman has a mask, and he was an ancient Sith, and he can talk through it. You know, Bane talked to a holocron of Revan and learned a bunch of shit, but Kylo can't talk to Vader's mask. Also, the Skywalker lightsaber talked to Rey. So, like, it doesn't even have to be an entity. There could be
that's true,
or an essence built, but of course.
Yeah, that is kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of like set themselves up with all these items that were attached to events or people, and then in the dark side, it's just like, oh, it's all Palpy. It's been. I'm like, dude.
Of course it was. This whole time.
And then, just to wrap it all around, I throw my theory out there that it's all been Bane. So it's Bane the whole time. So fuck you, Palps.
I agree with that. I would rather have Bane be the thing than Palps be the thing.
Now I like all this. Star Wars is saved.
Well, all right, hang on, though. The Bane theory is kind of... We kind of talk ourselves out of it if we say Palpatine started ignoring the rule of two, and that kind of led to his demise. So if that's true, then that was Bane that was then ignoring his own rules, which I don't think he would do.
True. Well, and then you get into that, how much of Bane is left?
Well, true. It could be like Voldemort, where his soul's getting split, and he's like weaker and weaker every time he takes somebody's thing over.
Well, especially when you run into like a Palpy who is immensely powerful. Like when Bane tries to essence transfer into him, Palp's like, get out of here.
That would be awesome in a comic or something to have like Palpatine he's like 10% Darth Bane, and he has like Bane in his head trying to get him to do things and like talk to him and convince him. Kind of like in the Dooku book where Asajj has like her old master like talking to her in her head, even though he's obviously not there.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And to see like Palpatine's internal struggle and like Bane's trying to talk him into doing stuff, and Palpatine's like, no, I want 14 apprentices.
Yeah, you know, I breezed through episode 1 recently, and that's kind of probably why I started playing the Pod Racer game, because that's one of the best scenes in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
But
In all of Star Wars, really.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of holes in episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Like what? Let's talk about it. I love episode 1. I haven't seen it in a while, but I love it.
Let me write them down later.
You just watched it. It should be fresh. Fresh off the dome.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff in that one. Oh, well, so like always 2 there are, no more, no less. Yoda, how do you know that?
He's 800 years old.
So he hasn't seen the Sith since ever. He's never seen a Sith ever. But he knows all of it. He knows it all.
I wonder if they talk about that in the High Republic.
Well, that's just it. Yeah. They can always fix it with another goddamn story.
I mean, the Sith haven't been seen, but there's probably still records or stories or whatever about when they were still around.
Yeah, I guess my thought is, even when you go all the way back to Darth Bane, which is 1,000 years before the movies that we've seen, he kills the Dark Brotherhood. He basically murders all the Sith. From that point forward, the Jedi assume all Sith are dead. So what are you basing all of your assumptions off of, Yoda? I'm more critical of Yoda more and more often because, you know,
It's that seniority, man. Just like you must be the oldest and the wisest, so you get to lead. And he's just like drunk the whole time.
He's lost, man. You can see it. And I don't know. I wonder if there was an uprising against Yoda at some point where they're like, dude, you're fucking old. Like
what? He just takes them all on.
Well, he's strong, so yeah. He the only thing that powerful beings are afraid of are losing their power.
True, even one like Yoda.
Not
he drops some knowledge, though, you know?
He's a very knowledgeable being, but that's where it ends. You know, when he starts talking about clouding judgments and can't see the future and dark side, cloud, and you're like, what can you do, Yoda? All you told us in all of the movies, when you talk about the future, you said Anakin's future's clouded. That's basically the only information that you've given us that's like, okay.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me? Is that good or bad? You literally just said, tomorrow's not today. What does that mean? What does that mean? What are you talking? Yes, of course, tomorrow's not today. What do you mean it's clouded?
I mean, it could be, from a certain point of view.
What? My question to you, bitch Yoda, what isn't clouded? Tell me anything about the future that's not clouded. What's for lunch tomorrow? I don't know. The tuna, I think, is going bad. So, so that's clouded too.
Yep. They're going to have to make a seafood stew.
They're so worried. You know, Qui-Gon does drops more knowledge than you think with him only being in the first movie. But
I love Qui-Gon Jinn.
Keep your, what does he say? Keep your mind on the here and now and on the present.
Yep.
Don't worry about the future and the past. And I think that's what the Jedi, they start worrying about the future so much, worrying about what Anakin could become, that they do lose they do lose sight.
They do lose.
They blues clues.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an analogy to another movie or series or something, but it's like the wise old sage shouldn't be in charge. He should be like advising someone who's in charge.
Yeah.
Because he has a bunch of like spiritual wisdom and, you know, he's probably good at training Jedi, but as far as leading the order and like handling the politics and all that stuff, it probably should not be him.
He also talks very in like mystical ways, very high level.
Like he talks backwards, you mean?
You know, back in the day, we used to talk like this.
Imagine, like, appointing someone to the Jedi Order, and it's Yoda, and he talks backwards, and going to the Senate and being like, this is our leader now. It's like, this guy can't even talk. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
He's speaking in riddles.
Speaking in riddles. Oh, man. Yeah.
Go on. You were saying something about him being mystical?
Well, it's just like, you know, that I think there might have been more of a balance, you know, between like Mace and Yoda. Yoda's very high level mystical. Mace is like, I don't fucking trust the kid. Fuck him.
Right. He wants to get shit done.
You're like, oh, there's got to be somewhere in the middle where I think Obi-Wan does live. kind of like he does trust in the Force, but he isn't. It's clouded because he's on the front lines doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda does shit, kind of. I mean, he saves Anakin and Obi-Wan in Episode 2, but I don't know. And he obviously fights the Emperor, but
Obi-Wan should be in charge for sure.
It
Obi-Wan, he's like Jon Snow. He's like trapped in between two sides, and he's like wants to do the right thing, and also probably knows that Anakin's fucking around, and loves him, so he wants to keep him safe, but also kind of doesn't trust him because he's losing his mind a little bit. And this whole thing about Padme and everything, and he just can't act because he wants to do the right thing, but he also cares about Anakin, so he's just kind of frozen.
Yeah.
Until push comes to shove, and he has to cut off all his limbs.
Star Wars is just the tragedy of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I always you said that for a long time, that it was rise and fall of Darth Vader, and I don't disagree with that, at least for the first 6, but I feel like less and less that it's about Vader.
Well, now it's about Palpatine.
I was gonna say Palpatine's like the looming force behind everything.
Yeah, but
since the very beginning, it's always been Palpatine.
Believe me, I hate it. Palpy is no longer a character. Like you said, he's more of like an essence of hate. So he doesn't die clearly. And
Essence of Hate, it's a cool band name. Essence of Hate.
Palpy. Volume 1. Yeah, I think that's what he's supposed to be, is kind of more of just representing evil. No matter who gets in front of him, whether it's friends, family, whoever. Vader is, from a certain point of view, that's his buddy, and he fucks him over constantly, but it keeps Vader on his toes. So it's very brutal.
It's a savage test, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in Succession. You haven't watched Succession, have you?
No.
Well, I won't get into it, but yeah, it's like you're engineering things that seem really cruel, but if you want to rule the galaxy, you got to be a savage. So I'm going to try to kill you a bunch, and if you survive, then you're probably worthwhile.
Well, it's like peace is just having a bigger stick than everybody else.
Oh.
That's what peace is, and that's what Palpy does.
Peace.
We need peace, so we need a death ball. So build it.
And then build me a bigger one.
And then
in a quarter of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Phantom Menace is the most recent movie of the wars that you've watched?
It is. I was going to try to just go through all of them, but I was in an episode 1 mood. So I wanted to do it. So.
Well, that's where you would start, so you can still do that.
You know what I do like is that I have come around since childhood is Boss Nass. I know he's kind of a goofy character, but I actually kind of like the character of Boss Nass.
He's wise, too.
He is. He's protective of his community, and Theed wasn't throwing him any bones, so fuck him.
Right.
So we have our water city, and we live down here, fuck him. And then when shit hits the fan, they are ready to do awesome part, or whatever the fuck he says. And they do their part. While Jar Jar fucks up and they kind of half lose, they do their part, and now there's peace.
Well, he's a good judge of character. He's wise. And
outside
then when... What?
Him appointing Jar Jar Bombad General.
Yeah, that's true.
I just rethought my whole life. It's been Palpy the whole time.
Well, that's maybe... Okay, yeah, I can't really defend that one. I was going to say, that's just him throwing him a bone and like, you didn't die, you helped us out, so here's this... Probably supposed to be an honorary title, not him actually on the front lines, but,
random thing that they threw in episode 1, not random, but they kind of just left at the front door, was the whole life debt from Jar Jar to Qui-Gon. Jar Jar was supposed to be Qui-Gon's companion his entire life. And with the death...
he died.
Well, with the death of Qui-Gon, does that transfer to Obi-Wan, or is now free?
That's tricky, because then how long do you have to do that?
Well, yeah, it's not slavery. You're not. So yeah, if your life debt.
But what if Jar Jar lives for like 150 and it just has to go from Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan then to Anakin
Yeah.
and Jar Jar's just serving Darth Vader with a life debt?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
I
what.
think Jar Jar says that and Qui-Gon says no, basically. But then later on he says it to Boss Nash just to get what he needs so he can get his business done, but I don't think it's actually in effect.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think it's real.
It's a weird thing that they kind of threw in episode 1 from like a real callback, Life Day and life debts with the Wookiees.
Yeah.
Well, you see it with in KOTOR with Zalbar.
Yeah, I wonder when's the first mention of life debt. It might be Phantom Menace, yeah.
Well, I don't even know how to say that. I wonder, if 2003, if a life debt. Well, no, because 99 would have been episode
Phantom
1.
Menace. Yeah, was first.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Man, what a crazy thing for them to throw into KOTOR to call upon episode 1. Life debt. Oh, we'll throw that in and make it better, make it actually worthwhile.
Yeah, there's no Gungans in Phantom Menace though, or there's no half the fucking movie.
Correction, there's only Gungans.
There's no Gungans in KOTOR is what I meant. They threw a lot of stuff in there, but no Gungans, no Gungas.
Yeah, I really do hate the fact that they bring Jar Jar along on Tatooine. It really pisses me off because it doesn't make any sense. Also,
It doesn't.
while we're shitting on Jar Jar, which I have come around to a little bit, I'm okay with it, whatever. Just too much screen time. There is some goofy stuff that they put in episode 1 when they're going through the planet core, and he turns around and there's a cobra fish, and his eyes pop out of his head. That's way too cartoony for me to live in a Star Wars film.
I've never even noticed that in my
His
life.
eyes, they don't pop out of his head, but they're on stalks, and they like stretch out, and like it's a cartoon for a half a second.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
It's Looney Tunes for a half a second.
That's hilarious.
And it does piss me off that they went that far. Like, it can be for kids.
Yeah.
That's fine, but the fact that they went that far that it's like no longer.
Yeah.
It's no longer live action. You just made this a cartoon.
Wow. I'll have to go and hunt for that because I've never seen it.
Yeah, just pay attention. He turns around. Oh, big cobra fish, and his eyes pop out of his head. It's like, oh my god, stop it. That does really make me mad because it just changes the whole tone of the movie. Like, you can have a goofy rabbit, but as soon as they start eye popping, done.
Where'd that term come from? Is he a rabbit? He's not a rabbit. They're amphibian.
Yeah, he's just got like rabbit ears, I guess. I don't know.
Those are like flippers for his head.
Does he use them? Does Toro?
They look like flippers. They're like for him to paddle in the water while he's underwater and shit.
Is that to hear the bigger fish?
No, it's to paddle away from the bigger fish as fast as you can.
Does he have ears? Does he listen?
What was I gonna say? Speaking of episode 1, you know, one thing that I from heavy nostalgia that I really miss is the map on Battlefront 1 in the fields with all the statues.
Oh, the statues just on Naboo in the field.
Yeah, it wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, I know. What you mean.
I missed that map, man, so much. That was so fun.
It's just an open field.
I know, but it was just it was iconic though, you know? That's such a big scene in Phantom Menace, so when you get to play in that scene, it was so fun.
What's your top 5 things of Phantom Menace?
Top 5 things.
It can be, well, obviously Darth Maul's going to be there. So it can be characters, it can be events, battles, it can be scenes.
Okay. Pod race for sure.
Okay. I'm writing these down.
I was going to say I'm going to do that too because I don't know how to count to 5. So, pod race. I'm going to say, well, you want to go back and forth? Or you agree with me on that one?
No, pod race is definitely one, yeah.
I love Darth Maul, but I think what I'm going to say is like the whole fight scene with
Sure.
Darth Maul.
Okay.
So, Darth Maul fight scene for sure.
But Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. Darth Maul. You agree with Darth Maul? It's hard not to. You can't pick 5 and not say that.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna say? So it's gonna be Darth Maul / Death of Qui-Gon. I think the fact that they went that far to introduce a character, make such a impact on the movie by picking up Anakin and then killing him off, it was a very ballsy move. So, no, I like it. So maybe that's two of them. Qui-Gon's death.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna say Qui-Gon in general.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn. He's my favorite Jedi, and he's only in episode 1, so gotta pick that. He's a big deal.
Okay.
Coruscant. I have such memories of watching episode 1 and just the whole vibe of Coruscant. They leave Tatooine, they arrive, the landing pad that's floating, the Senate chambers, all that. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I know in the Plagueis book it overlaps. The story overlaps with episode 1.
Yeah.
And they particularly bring up that Master Qui-Gon. What are midichlorians? And there's whatever.
What are you thinking about? Can I say midichlorians for number 5?
Oh, there you go.
I like the midichlorian thing. I won't say that. I'm just saying, should I say that?
There was a sweeping shot during that landing pad scene, and it almost gave me the feeling that this is what Plagueis is seeing. He's seeing the Jedi land. Because, like I said, it overlaps, and there is a direct scene in the Plagueis book where he's watching Anakin land on a landing pad, and he sees his apprentice meet them out there. Mm-hmm. And you're like, and then in the movie, I see this like real wide sweeping shot, and it's like from way out. I'm like, maybe that's what Plagueis is seeing right there. Just kind of forcing it.
That's a good example of like an author writing some expanded universe stuff and going to the scenes. And like taking things out of the movie and expanding on them, like seeing that scene from episode 1 and saying like, oh, what if this was actually from Plagueis' point of view?
Yeah,
it happened in the opposite order, but yes, yeah.
I'm gonna throw the end battle for the crazy, and I'm just gonna leave it as end battle because there's those 4 scenes that are going on, but the bouncing around hecticness with the starfighter stuff, the palace raid. The Gungans, and then Jedi and Maul.
Yep.
I love the fact that they went that far. That it's this is mayhem. This is the beginning of the Star War. This is where we got to go. So, I like it. I wish things were more hectic in the movies, and I think like you see that in Scarif. I think that's why I like Scarif so much because we do get that spaceship ground battle, and like there's so much going on, and it feels very hectic. Go ahead.
No Jedi Sith battles though in Rogue One.
That's what makes it even better. Because it's the people that are making the difference, not some
lightsabers.
Mystic bastards.
We should have renamed the show Mystic Bastards.
I agree. Tomorrow on Mystic Bastards.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to rename it every week. All right, today on the Liquid Death Experience Hour. Oh man! So
right now I've got Pod Race, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and I put Qui-Gon's death and the end battle. Were you putting midichlorians as?
I kind of want to, because I like the storyline with Anakin. I can't say I love Anakin. Tatooine's cool, but it's stuff that we've seen. I like the nostalgia feel of going back there, but I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite parts.
I'm going to throw one out there that I think might hit your radar here, and I'm just going to say the Nubians, and that's going to include Naboo.
Yeah.
But I love the setting. I love the architecture. I like down to even the Queen's robes for. I know that's kind of a.
The Queen's wardrobe, maybe.
Wardrobe, but they're unique at least, and they kind of fit the culture around the Nubians.
Love the Nubian culture.
And the ships that they build, everything around the Naboo culture seems really unique to me, and I've always liked it.
I really do like the Nubians, but I'm going to actually go the other direction, and I'm going to say the battle droids and the droid army.
Yeah?
The battle droids themselves, the tanks, the little fucking upright speeder bike things that they have. Just always dig the battle droids.
Yeah.
Those staffs, I don't even know what they are. They're like a fucking pogo stick that flies through the air.
Why do they need this?
Awesome.
Why are they sending one droid over somewhere?
I love it, dude. And the transport ships with the big double wings, those are so sweet.
What about the Infiltrator?
The Infiltrator.
Isn't that Darth Maul's?
Oh, Darth Maul's ship. Yeah. Very nice.
That's very cool.
One of the OG Star Wars Legos.
Yeah. Yeah, I put the Nubians as mine.
I'll put battle droids for mine.
I do like the battle droids a lot. And they kind of went downhill from there. Maybe it felt so cool and so fresh. The tanks held up.
Yeah.
The tanks are so fucking cool, and the sound, whoa, 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 whoa. And then when they fire, you're like, dude.
Oh, I didn't even mention the droidicas. The fucking droidicas.
The droidicas and... so our top 7 things about episode 1.
And the whole movie, top 8 things?
Because, honestly, I can't leave this out, the soundtrack.
Oh, shit, the top 9 things?
Yeah.
The score is so good.
Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Yeah, top 10 things.
Groundbreaking. Dude, for how dumb that sounds, when he ignites it, you're like,
what?
I didn't know they could do that.
They couldn't until they did.
That's the whole thing of Star Wars. They couldn't do it until they did.
Any movie, really.
Han taking off into light speed from a hangar. Can you do that?
And then landing out of light speed onto a planet. That's
Honestly,
so stupid.
it's impossible, first of all, for a human to do it. He's not the only human that can do it. He accidentally did that shit.
Yeah, that's how he does everything, though. Accidentally got Leia pregnant. Accidentally flew out of the hangar.
That's... Yep.
Accidentally let his son kill him.
Speaking of Han...
No.
I was thinking about, in the Disney universe that they've created, I know a lot of people want to go forward in time to do certain legends, stories, maybe with Thrawn or something like that, or go back, obviously, with Bane or whatever. But I was kind of thinking about different opportunities that they have, that they've already set up for us. And I know they're moving forward with, like, Lando, with Donald Glover. But the other one that I thought was like, dude, just give me a Kira movie. With her working under Maul.
Make Solo 2 happen.
It would Kira 1 happen. Make Lord Kira.
I think they all have crossover enough that it should be a Solo 2. I agree with you. I'm not trying to say that it's a different thing. I think that it would be part of that same story, though.
Yeah, I guess I'd be okay with it if they never cross paths again, though. I would literally like to see Kira working under Maul and it really start twisting her mind. Because he would just control her. Let's get that out there. She's cool and she's strong, and I think she's very useful, especially for a guy like Maul. But as soon as he lets her in, he's going to fucking toss her out and just use her to an extent until he's done with her, as Sith do.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be cool to see kind of that twisting mind. You don't even have to have a redemption, but maybe there is some type of learning where she gets killed in front of Han, and he really starts like understanding there is a very deep evil that he didn't realize exists in the universe.
Well, they could do something like... Well, I guess that's not the same exact thing. I was going to say they could be kind of intertwined around the same story, even if they don't cross paths technically. They're just barely kind of bumping into each other, and like Kira's taking off from somewhere as Han arrives, and like they don't really have FaceTime, but they're kind of following the same path.
They could be pulling the strings from opposite ends.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, I don't know, there's a world that needs saving, and Han's like, okay, I'm gonna start trying to do maybe some rebel stuff. You know, I'll start helping. And now Kira's on the other side. She's pulling the strings to fuck over these people that are trying. I don't know. She's trying to control. Let's just say there's
the crime syndicate.
Yeah,
Crimson
that's what
Dawn.
I'm saying. So I don't know.
Dude, there's 5 major crime syndicates, and there's so much time in between episode 3 and 4 where either Rebellion's getting built before we get to Rebels, after Order 66, and these crime syndicates are doing all of their shit while the Empire's trying to establish power. There's so much room there for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Crimson Dawn and Kira. I think that'd be a place to go, but they could cross over. They could have a whole... I don't know. I just wish they could do... I told you and myself we wouldn't talk about Marvel.
You know, but this is one of those I would actually... You've heard it here first. I would actually be okay if they animated the Kira thing. First of all, Darth Maul on screen again would be difficult to do since they've done so much animated Darth Maul.
Yeah, but Ray Park's still in like perfect physical form, so he would crush it.
I get it, but it's probably cheaper and they could mass produce it. And it doesn't have to be that deep of a show per se. Just kind of a one-off. These are the inner workings of what Maul's doing for Crimson Dawn. Go. Like do it like a one-off 10-episode thing, whatever. I don't know.
I have more faith in them making a movie faster than they can make a show at this point. So,
very true.
I'd rather it be a movie.
Did you hear that they finally landed on a writer for Rogue Squadron, the movie?
That's good to know.
I have never heard of him, and he's definitely never written anything.
That could be good or bad.
I'm not even joking. There was like one movie that I heard.
Well, he must have had a good pitch for the story then.
Matthew Robinson.
Swiss Family Robinson?
Matthew Robinson.
The reason I brought up Marvel, while you look that up, is I was just saying Star Wars could have its own little phases. So, like, Phase 7 could just be this whole time period between 3 and 4, just talking about Empire building up, rebellion in the background, crime syndicates, Crimson Dawn, Kira, smugglers, bounty hunters, all that kind of stuff.
She could also play a Galen Erso aspect where she's working for the bad guy and comes around for half a second and is like, Darth Maul's not the way, Crimson Dawn's not the way, these people are fucked. I need to send XYZ info out to someone who can make a difference because this shit needs to end.
Yeah.
And then she just basically Galen Erso's, she's done. So, getting back to Matthew Robinson, who is slotted to write the story for Rogue Squadron.
Nice. Say writer or screenwriter?
It says writer.
Sometimes they're two different things. Sometimes they're not.
Well, yeah, so a writer, I would assume, writes the story. Screenwriter would be writing the script.
Yep.
So he's known for, get ready for this.
UHF.
I've never heard of almost any of this. So the first one is The Intention of Lying. Oh, I'm sorry. The Invention of Lying. There was a movie called Love and Monsters, which I have seen the cover of. I've never seen it. Okay. And then Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
That's the Dora Explorer movie?
Yeah. Those are the films that he has written.
Huh. All right. Well. How good was Dora the Explorer?
Well, and I had, the one thing that I had read, they claimed that Love and Monsters was a lot better than anyone had, exclaimed. But I don't know what, this isn't good or bad because I have no idea what this guy can do. And obviously they landed on him for a reason. So, yeah. I don't know.
Well, The Invention of Lying, Ricky Gervais, Jennifer Garner, Jonah Hill, Louis C.K., Rob Lowe, Tina Fey. That's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, and I think he worked with Ricky to write that. So, he's intertwined with a lot of big names. So,
all right. I kind of want to watch that movie now.
Yeah,
I'm going to add it to my very long list of movies that I will never watch.
Up to, oh, yeah.
Instead, I go back and watch Succession for the 4th time.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. You want to watch something new? Nope. Let's watch Star Wars.
Nope. Did you see the Legend of the Ten Rings trailer?
I just saw that there was a new one out. I haven't seen this second one yet, though. But yeah, I'm very excited for that movie.
I'm going to be completely honest. I think I was watching basketball one night, and it came on, and I watched part of it, and then I think the baby started crying, so I didn't pay attention. But it was the little snippet that I saw. I was like, oh, okay, this is...
I'm hyped, dude. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I don't know. Different style of power, so that I'm more interested to see, like, what he can do, what's, like, the setting, what.
Yep.
What is the story?
It is... Oh, man. I watched a couple of recaps after the first trailer came out, and I'm trying to rack my brain to remember
also,
what it was about.
While you're racking, Black Widow is coming out in a couple weeks here.
Oh, yeah.
I believe. I think it's July 9th.
And Loki we need to get on. I haven't started it yet. And you finished Falcon Winter Soldier before our short break. We never talked about the finale.
Oh, really? I thought we did.
I think we texted about it.
Oh, okay. It was great. It was a lot better than I thought, but
yeah, except you were shitting on his suit.
I do not like his suit. I really don't. I wish I did. I think the idea is there, but like seeing it on screen, it looked so bad to me. I like the color schemes. I like it all. His goggles look really bad. Whole face thing looked terrible. But like, I can appreciate it. I'll say it like that. But it just missed me. I saw it. I was like, oh god, nice try.
All right. The only thing I didn't like is like the neck part that comes up from the neck around his face and gives him like a little Batman opening. I didn't like that. But I dig everything else. And it was just so triumphant with him kind of blasting through the window, and then he unfurls his wings, and it's like fucking Captain Falcon Soldier America.
Captain Falcon Soldier. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I guess it's fine. I don't know.
Shut up.
Like, I feel like I would have liked it if I was 10.
Well, sometimes when you watch these, you feel like you're 10, so...
It's true.
Did that happen?
The Falcon and Winter Soldier, though, that whole show was a lot heavier than I ever expected.
Yeah.
Very, very heavy undertones, and but wow.
Yeah, I need to give it another watch.
Yeah, that's definitely one too, because they play on a lot of different tones there.
Yep.
Really relevant stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. The whole plot of, you know, what if Thanos was kind of right sometimes, and how that is playing out in the world 5 years later.
But that's what I love. They
crazy.
Finally brought it down to the ground level, and
yep.
People are back, and they feel certain ways about what happened,
yep.
And this is us going forward, and it's not all fucking daisies, you know? Like, it's people are pissed.
Right. It's not as simple as Iron Man saves the day and we all go back to normal.
Yeah, people were better off when half the world was gone, or half the population was gone. People
Which
can
is a
eat
fucked
food.
up thing to think.
But it is, you know. They basically started. They were poor. People left. Then they can live in houses and eat. And then they came back and they got kicked out of those houses that they took. And you're like, dude, now we're back to poor. Fuck this world. Fuck Iron Man. He should have unclicked the click and done the thing.
I hope they cover that material kind of more in some other shows too, because that was one kind of area of it. But I mean, how many other people agree with Thanos? Kind of, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't think people agree with Thanos. They just
no one's saying yes, Thanos was good.
Yeah, it was circumstantial. Like,
but when you see the effect of it, yeah.
No, it's cool because it does kind of bring a very human aspect to a high level superhero. Yep. I mean, Marvel. We've talked about it. There's so much to it, but when you dig down, it is about people, and
yep, always.
It is cool to see that. So.
Yeah, so I was on a long Marvel marathon, and I halted because I went to watch Spider-Man: Far From Home, and you can't rent it. And I was just being really annoying and just refusing to buy it for some reason. But on digital, like I went to Apple, Hulu, HBO, all those places, and it's not available for rent for some reason. So I just kind of like halted. That was the last one I had to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to figure out how I can view that and then watch that one. And then I wanted to rewatch WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier and just kind of give them a second look.
Yeah.
Before Black Widow comes out.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really run through Falcon and Winter Soldier with, like I said, the undertones and the message behind. I mean, you talk about racism, you talk about veterans coming back from war and PTSD, you talk about terrorism, you talk about, I mean, and they shoved it all into, shove it all into like 8 episodes, and you're like, holy shit. And they make it work in one storyline, which is crazy because, like I said, they shove a lot in there. So it's but they do it right. Marvel knocks it out of the park again. I don't know.
And then you got that whole random like pseudo Singapore area where there's just like no laws and
yeah,
that was so random, but I loved it.
Yeah, Louisiana. I think that's the word.
Oh. Yeah. So I want to rewatch that before Black Widow comes out. Loki, I need to get started on. I've just been putting it off for no reason whatsoever. I heard it's really good.
I haven't really heard much, to be honest.
I've
Which
been
can be
avoiding
good or bad.
spoilers, but I just heard like really good things. It's like WandaVision was something totally its own thing, different from all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Throwing that sitcom stuff in there, like that's kind of never been done before. So I hear Loki is all a bunch of time travel and stuff, and it's similar in that it's off the wall. So I'm looking forward to it.
Wow. Falcon and Winter Soldier on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 90, which is great. The audience score gave it a 72.
That's not as bad as I thought it could be. If that makes any sense.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I would expect the audience score I would expect the audience to shit on it more.
Yeah, I mean, give and take, with the underlying messages that they threw out there, a lot of people probably feel different ways about it. So
Yeah.
all right, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes strikes again. What was that one that random?
Critic score 0%. Audience score 100%.
Yeah, dude, what was that?
This podcast.
What were we talking about? Was it you and I that were talking about a movie?
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I don't remember which one though.
Dude, it was like rated 15%, but the audience score was like 89%. You're like, dude, you are fucked.
Yep.
What's the point of you? What's the point of you?
To complain about, man.
You know what I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm on Rotten Tomatoes still. Skyfall. I haven't watched like a 007 movie in a minute.
I ran through them, at least the new. Why am I blanking on his name right now? What's the Bond's name?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. I watched through his because the new one was supposed to come out before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall. Haven't rewatched Spectre yet. I've only seen that one once. I remember absolutely nothing about it. But yes, Skyfall's great. I need to rewatch Spectre. And Casino Royale, honestly, is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I enjoy it a lot, too.
It's so fantastic. I love that film.
It's a little long, but if you're down for a long movie, it's...
Always down for long movies, bro.
Until you don't have time.
I don't have time for shows. I have time for long movies whenever.
Okay. I don't have time to end this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Clean.